Appreciate, again, the opportunity to be with you tonight. One of the things I do in our community is I'm a bus driver. I like being a bus driver. It can be challenging, I guess, in some ways. Sometimes you just want to take those beautiful children and brake check them right into the windshield. We don't do that officially. No, in all seriousness, to be with those kids every day. I had been a sub for years, and then last year, several of our members of our congregation are involved in central office, our transportation supervisor. We've had 3 transportation supervisors, our members of the church at Double Springs, and he needed a help, so I said, I was a sub. And, he and one of my elders, who's a superintendent, had conspired. I didn't know that. And they come and said, hey, we need you to do this. School was starting in 2 days. So I agreed, and it really blessed me. I'm doing it again this year. It's just those kids have taught me more than I could ever teach them, just being around them. And I've got one little girl. She's a kindergartner. Last year, she's in kindergarten again this year. I've got 5 or 6 kindergartners this time. But last year, I got on the bus, so trying to balance ministry and that too. And I was blessed with the opportunity to help conduct a funeral. And so I went straight from the graveside, right onto the bus. And I was there in my tie. The kids are used to me in jeans and maybe like a polo shirt or something. But then I was pulling my coat off, and I just left everything on and got on the bus. And that little kindergartner, she gets on the bus, and I can tell she doesn't come from any type of like a religious background. Of course, not the church, but I can tell she's probably not been to church very much, listened to her talk, and been around her grandmother a little bit. And so I was standing there. You have to count your kids. And she looked at me, and she looked me up and down. She said, hey, are you like a church man or something? And I didn't really think about it. And I looked myself up and down. I said, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, sweetheart, I guess you could say that I'm a church man or something. So I sat back down in my seat, and I started driving. My route's 32 miles, and so I've got some time to think, while I'm riding. And I thought, absolutely, I'm a church man. And so are you. And what a privilege it is to be called something like that. And the Bible talks about all of the descriptions that God's people wear. Being a part of the church, what a blessing. Part of the righteous redeemed on earth, part of the royal register of the redeemed in heaven. Man, what a blessing. Because the Lord adds you to that body, Acts chapter 2 and verse 47, and it blesses you with the opportunity to glorify God. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 16 says, if anyone suffers as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God in that name. We wear a name. That name belongs to Jesus Christ. We belong to Jesus Christ. What a privilege it is to be a part of the Church of Christ. Not as a denominational title or description, but as a way to tell people, that's my King, and that's who I belong to. So I ask you this evening, are you a church man or woman or something? I hope so. Because if you're part of the church, you're in a saved relationship with God. Maybe you've come here tonight and you're not a Christian. I can think of no better time. I'm assuming there's a baptistry up there. Typically is. There's a baptistry up there. We'll fill it up if it needs to be filled up. And you can become part of the church. Or maybe you're here tonight. It has nothing to do with anything we studied. You just want the prayers of your family of faith. See, being a part of the church provides you an eternal family, an eternal support system. And what a great privilege it is to pray for one another and to encourage one another any way that we can. The Lord's invitation is about to be extended to you in just a moment. If you're subject to it, come now as we stand, as we sing.